Oh, Edward Chinhanu is a professional teacher. He's also a professional transitional justice fellow. I left teaching in 2004 and started on a course of peace building and conflict transformation with Africa University. I concentrated on transitional justice at places like the Institute for Justice and Reconciliation, which was formed by Nelson Mandela in 2006. And then I went to The Hague in the Netherlands, and then I went to Bangkok, Thailand. I also went to Cambodia, where I found the people there in the middle of their transitional justice process. So that has been my work ever since. Transitional justice is a process in which a country that has been at conflict with itself, or human rights abuses and stuff like that, even war, can move from that period of bad experiences to democracy. That is transitional justice.
Okay, but does Zimbabwe qualify as a country that needs transitional justice?
Precisely, Mr. Gambakwe. This is the matter about which I am here. There is no country on this planet that has gone through war or gross human rights abuses without going through a transitional justice process and survive. There's no country that survives without talking about the past. None of them on this planet except Zimbabwe, sadly.
Okay, but what do you mean when you say Zimbabwe hasn't gone through transitional justice? After independence, was there no transitional justice?
There was zero transitional justice. What happened was President Mugabe just stood on the podium and declared that he was forgiving Ian Smith and all the whites for all they had done. There was no exhaustive research of events in the war. How many perished? What happened really? So actually, that was not done. And as people worked in their fields, they plowed out human skeletons, you see, as they plowed their fields. You see, those are spirits that are roaming around the world. Zimbabwe has never done it. I'm
okay. Right, so can you please briefly explain what needs to be done now?
What needs to be done now is for Zimbabweans to remember that even if Comrade E.G. were to give Chamisa and Kupe political power today, they could not manage to run this country. They can't manage, they can't govern such a country. You see, everything that has gone, that goes bad to humans has gone bad in this country. Can you imagine people being swallowed into the earth like what happened in Chipinge? Can you imagine our roads turning into floods of blood during holidays? Can you imagine our industry dead? Can you even imagine money being useless? We were all brought up to respect money, to work for money. But in Zimbabwe, nothing like that. Money is useless. So what needs to be done? I've designed a transitional justice model myself. And I think I've worked on it since 2008, and this is 2020. So for 12 years, I've been working on this model, which suits Zimbabwe. And one of the things that I feature most is that no one is going to jail for the crimes they committed. No one is going to be killed for the crimes they committed. We are all going to work together, side by side, as Zimbabweans, to look for money to build our nation. We want to lift this country up where it belongs.
You said you've been working on this transitional justice model for 12 years.
Yes, Mr. Gamate.
Let's start at the beginning. Who needs to lead and who needs to be the stakeholders?
Very good question indeed. My suggestion is that we look for a neutral, non-political transitional president. I had suggested Father Fidelis Mukonori or Reverend Noah Manyika, although the aspect that is political might kind of dilute is not big. But there's also Shingi Munyeza. There's also yourself and myself, Mr. Gambakwe. Anyone can lead this. As long as you have an idea, you are not political, you want to build this country, we have the people. Zimbabwe is renowned across the world for doing wonders. Why can't we do wonders in our own country? We have the means, we have the brains. My design, like I've explained that no one goes to jail or no one is killed. And so we want to look for money. All crimes that were committed during the last 40 years, you know, because my design is confined to the independence period only, from 1980 up to now, right? So people, you know, pay money for their crimes. They pay for their crimes in monetary form.
Okay, but why do we need a transitional president?
Because he is just and fair. There is no retributive justice in that. If Chamisa were to be president, he would turn on Mnangagwa and accuse him of a lot of things, even personal attacks. But a transitional president is neutral. He allows everybody to come together and contribute according to their ability.
Okay, what's wrong with the president we have now?
Oh, well, you see, my suggestion is that Comrade Mnangagwa steps down. We actually beg him. Out of the 40 years that ZANU-PF has ruled us, I'm actually asking for only 2 years, 2021 and 2022, so that we commence our transitional justice process. It would not be fair if the current president would lead the transitional justice process. He would protect himself and protect his interests and his party's interests. So the only person who could stand in there is a neutral, non-political figure.
Okay, you say you've been working on this document for 12 years.
Yes.
Have you presented this document to anyone else?
I have made attempts to reach out to ZANU-PF. I've reached out to 3 ministers with this document, but they just read my messages and they don't respond to me. They haven't even seen the model. What they are doing is they are preventing me, they are blocking me from approaching Comrade Mnangagwa.
Okay, which ministers did you approach?
No names, please, no names. I can't do that.
Okay, you want to reach President Mnangagwa and tell him he needs to step down?
No, I'm not going to tell him that. You see, ZANU-PF actually has done a lot for this country. If it was not for the MDC, I think ZANU-PF should have finished their liberation trajectory. But the MDC dragged ZANU-PF into politics, and ZANU-PF forgot about their liberation trajectory and concentrated on survival, on politics.
Okay, but so, yeah, you said that you need a transitional president and Mnangagwa will have to step down. Is that not what is causing people to block you?
They haven't seen that document yet. I'm not asking you, I'm kindly asking him to give us 2 years out of 40 that ZANU-PF has been in power. Only 2 years out of 40, from 2021 and 2022. And then we are going to give them back their 2 years. And perhaps elections could be extended to 2026.
Okay, but this is where I always disagree with people. There is no legal framework in Zimbabwe that says a president can just step down so that there can be a transitional authority. It's not in the law.
It's not in the law, but that's why I'm using the word kindly asking for President Mnangagwa, because this is good for him and the country too. I'm kindly asking them to step down.
The law says if a president steps down, immediately his vice president will take over. Or there will have to be an election over a certain period of time. How are you going to go past that?
Comrade Gambakwe, the law is made by us, right? It is made in order to suit us, to provide us with good living, isn't it? Why should we be hung by the law or hanged by the law? Why? We can discuss these things. In fact, I think the constitutional amendment, the Concord, that COPAC exercise was done too early, because these things should have come first. I argued about these things in the Sunday Mail and various other newspapers, but lawyers they overwhelmed me, and so COPAC went on.
Okay, so let's say Mnangagwa steps down. What happens next?
What happens is we start the process. We tell them that guys, all money, all crimes will be paid for with money. And then we inform, I mean, we tell our parliament to, you know, make sure that people are aware, and we go to the NPRC, that's the National Peace and Reconciliation Commission. We work together, and we come up with the real model, which the United Nations and other international bodies can accept.
What are the objectives?
The objectives of truth and reconciliation.
Yes.
Can't you see our country has fallen down, Mr. Gambakwe? You can't see the objectives. Can't you see life is unlivable in the country at the moment? I'm shocked and surprised when ZANU-PF says that they arrested Chinhanu and Ngarivume because they were disturbing the peace. Which peace? There's no peace. Those guys are trying to bring peace to the country. So we need to sit down and discuss.
And then after the 2 years, what happens?
After the 2 years, if ZANU-PF want to complete their broken term, they can do so. But my hope is that elections will be held even before they complete that. I don't know. It's a talk situation. We'll be discussing.
What body will be running the country during the transitional period?
It's the transitional president and his cabinet. That's where the commissioners are going to come from. That's where the staff. In fact, since I've been working on this project for this long, I already have a team of Zimbabwean professionals whom I believe can, you know, lead this transitional justice to successful end.
Okay, and the victims, who are the victims?
You're asking me who are the victims?
Yes.
Victims of what?
When you're doing justice, there's a victim.
Oh, I see. You know, every institution that has broken down will be investigated. Whether it's education, it's health, it's defense, it's whatever. Everything will be investigated, Mr. Gambakwe. I've written 2 books on transitional justice in Zimbabwe. The first book is called Hanging by a Thread, a peace builder's quest to end Zimbabwe's political conflict. It was removed from the internet. I have written another one now, Redefining Zimbabwean Peace, Diary of a Peacemaker. Our discussion is going to be diarized. I'm diarizing everything that I go through in my quest to bring peace to Zimbabwe.
Why was the book removed from the internet?
Why?
Yes.
I didn't ask anybody. I was happy I was alive, my man. Oh, why should I worry about a book when I'm scared for my life?
Okay, so how much is each book costing?
Only $5 soft copy, Ms. Gambakwe.
Okay, so I'm going to send you $10 US and you send me the books.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gambakwe.
Right, and then in terms of meeting President Mnangagwa, have you gone to his office?
I don't even know where his office is. I've written to his colleagues asking permission to meet him and discuss. But I'm
sure if you call or you go to his office, there must be someone to meet you.
I don't know. I haven't tried that. I live in Mutare, and that is Harare. Remember?
Okay. Right. I'm sure that it can be arranged because these videos are watched by everyone. So I'm sure the people in Mnangagwa's office can contact you. I'll put your number on the screen so that you can talk to him.
Sure. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And I will really enjoy talking to you.
Been my pleasure, sir. Thank you.